Morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. If you are watching us on Facebook, thank you for that. Please remember that Facebook does keep these shows on our page throughout the day and I think in perpetuity, actually. So you can go back and watch them at your leisure if you can't catch us first thing in the morning. We also upload the shows to our website, www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. We have audio and video versions there for you to check out. Appreciate if you're watching or listening there as well. I-12 is flowing this morning with some minor delays beginning at Millerville, running just past O'Neill. If you're heading on I-12 westbound, keep that in mind. 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190 are flowing. 64 looking clear heading into Central. However, some heavier delays. Not so much of a stop, but some heavier delays on Greenwell Springs if you take a left there off 64. You're looking at your normal school delays. 16 looking pretty heavy outside of Live Oak High School. Both Burgess Avenue and 190 heavy with Walker High traffic, and 16 in Denham Springs heavy with Denham traffic as well. Hatchell Lane, of course, because Denham Elementary and Denham Junior High being right next to each other, also pretty heavy on the delays as well. It's currently 58 degrees, 82 your high today, 58 degrees your overnight low. It's going to be a bright and sunshiny day with some little cloud cover sparsed in there a little bit. Now, want to remind folks, getting into the regular meat of the show here, we do have another development in the tropics. Right now we have two. We have Delta and Gamma. Right now, Delta is the one that everybody's eyes are on. All of the Louisiana southern coast is in the cone of uncertainty. It is expected to reach Category 2 status sometime, which is about 100 miles per hour sustained winds, sometime by Friday afternoon. Will make landfall sometime Friday night, Saturday morning at this time. It's a very large cone of uncertainty, kind of goes from about Beaumont to Destin. So not entirely sure exactly where it's going to land or if it's going to pick up heavy rains or if it's just going to be heavy wind. But right now it is projected actually to go right through just west of New Orleans and probably come up 55. So it could be Livingston Parish, Baton Rouge, Hammond, something like that. But right now the path has it heading right towards the southern Louisiana coast. So we're going to be keeping an eye on Delta. Gamma is kind of trying to decide if it wants to form or not. Right now, it's just a low pressure off the Yucatan Peninsula, the coast of Central America. It's going to be interesting to see the path of Delta is supposed to cross very close to Gamma. They may interact. And of course, we did discuss earlier in the year when we were dealing with Marco and Laura that they might combine. That is possible. Storms can do that. Sometimes they weaken, sometimes they strengthen. It just kind of depends. So we're going to be keeping an eye on what Delta and Gamma do. Of course, we've made it out of the named storm season and into the Greek alphabet because we ran out of names for this year's crazy tropic season. So again, Tropical Storm Delta, please keep your eye on it. It is expected to be a Category 2 hurricane. Right now is projected to slam into the Louisiana Gulf Coast. Of course, it might interact with Gamma, which is a low pressure, could form into a tropical storm itself, or interact with, good morning, Miss Karen, thanks for joining us, or interact with the other storm, that would be Delta, and maybe they'll both come up. Let's hope not. President Donald Trump has let everybody know that he is feeling better. A video posted to his Twitter on Saturday showed him kind of saying that, he was trying to get better, that he was feeling better than he was when he was admitted, that the doctors at Walter Reed were taking pretty good care of him. He did also get into a convoy yesterday and traveled around the D.C. area to wave at supporters. So it does appear that he is feeling better. He does expect to be at Walter Reed for several more days, so we're going to see exactly how long he stays at the hospital before he returns to his job at the White House. But again, the message that was sent out late Saturday evening and Sunday is that he is feeling better and is expected to recover. That is the message we're getting from the doctors as well. Some of the media outlets complaining about sort of some mixed messaging from his doctor. Time's going to tell exactly what happens. But right now, with that video and with him being out and about on Sunday, The continued message from both parties, both the president and his doctor, is that he's feeling better and he's expected to recover. We'll just see how long that takes. An interesting story that came out last week, and very sad actually. A joint effort between the Tangipahoa and Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office has led to the discovery of a body that appeared to have passed on due to a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and another body was discovered on the premises. Rudolph Skinner Sr., sorry, that's a lot. Rudolph Skinner Sr. Was found in Albany off Skinner Lane after having called the authorities and sort of describing a crime scene. Remains were also found on the property. Both the Livingston and Tangi Sheriff's Department believe that that body is related to a missing woman from the Hammond area. Of course, they're still trying to verify the identity. One sheriff deputy showed up at the site on Skinner Lane in Albany. They discovered that Mr. Rudolph Skinner had died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. So all in all, it does look like Mr. Skinner called in, not necessarily confessed to the crime, but described the crime that he had committed, and then committed suicide as deputies were on the way to his home. So that is still under investigation. They're still trying to confirm the identity of the body that was discovered. But again, Rudolph Skinner Sr. Of Albany was found dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound on Skinner Lane in Albany. Football is back. First week of regular season high school football is on the books. You can go check out those scores at www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. There's also some cross-country results tucked in there as well as some volleyball results, because we have had plenty of sports going on up until this time. But I know a lot of people are excited that football itself has kicked back off. Getting into your COVID-19 statistics real quick, 168,294 cases statewide, 5,387 deaths, 2,382,245 tests. 154,163 have recovered, 518 hospitalized on 68 ventilators. So those hospitalizations and ventilators looking a lot better. In Livingston Parish, 3,855 cases, 76 deaths on 41,279 tests. The battle over the COVID-19 emergency declaration, from the Governor John Bell Edwards continues at the legislature, and so far nothing has passed with any sort of veto-proof majority. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what moves forward. Right now there are about 11 resolutions and bills going through the House trying to navigate this process. It's one of those deals where it appears that once the legislature sort of figures they've got something figured out, they open a whole new can of worms and problems, so they keep trying to solve these new issues. Right now, the things that seem to be in the lead, of course, are the bill passed by Senate President, or proposed by Senate President Paige Cortez, and the bill proposed by House Speaker Clay Schexnayder. House Speaker Clay Schexnayder is looking for a 30-day pause or suspension of the emergency declaration to see what would happen during that time if all required mitigation efforts were lifted. That includes bars being open at full capacity, restaurants being open at full capacity, retail full capacity, et cetera, no mask mandate, that sort of thing. On the other side, Senator Paige Cortez has proposed that legislators be more involved with the decision-making at the table when these extensions are discussed, especially COVID-19 extensions of the mitigation efforts. So it's going to be interesting to see where both of these bills go. They will continue to move through the legislative process starting this morning. So we're going to find out, I'm sure pretty soon, exactly what's going to happen once they reach the governor's desk. So again, none of these bills have passed with any sort of veto-proof majority. So they still have to go through the normal legislative process. Of course, the special session lasting until late October. They are trying to figure out a new budget as well because of the changes in the economy due to COVID-19, especially because of unemployment and the unemployment fund being almost completely depleted due to increased unemployment rates, currently at about 11% unemployment in Louisiana. Also in contention is the school board. Last Thursday, the Livingston Parish's Teacher Association passed 7-2. Albany's Devin Gregoire and Live Oaks or Watson's Kelly Hennessy Dickerson voted no for the committee. Mr. Gregoire proposed that this new proposal that came up from Assistant Superintendent Steve Perrell be taken to committee. The school board has sort of a committee day where they meet and talk about different things before they have the full board meeting. So he suggested that this new proposal be taken there to have the kinks worked out because, according to Mr. Gregoire, the proposal by the central office was only slightly different from that committee that was proposed by teachers and the Teachers Federation. Mr. Perrell said that his proposal, and which reflected a proposal of the central office, was more in line with what they wanted to do because of the actions of certain people within the teachers union, especially bashing some central office staff. So it's kind of been an interesting back and forth. Mr. Perrell did say that he was not comfortable giving that union a chance for a voice at the table. He wanted to make sure that teachers that were selected by certified personnel and approved by the principal that were teachers for this new committee. The new committee is supposed to be a teacher group that interacts with the school board and the central office to try to not only take information from them and figure it out and disseminate it among other teachers, but to give suggestions as to what could change and what could help at the teacher level since they're in it every day. Of course, COVID-19 has kind of brought some of this relationship issue between the teachers and the central office as well as the school board to light. It's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward because many of these teachers have said this was a problem before COVID. COVID just made it much more glaring. So they will continue this push to try to form some sort of committee to help with communication between teachers in the central office and teachers and the school board. Of course, principals also looking for their piece of the pie as well, which is why they would be, under Mr. Perrell's proposal, the eventual arbiter of approval for those teachers that would be a part of this committee. So it's going to be interesting to see. Of course, we have 45 school sites, so a large committee at that. So time's going to tell on that one what happens with that new 7-2 committee. It is officially formed by the school board, so we're going to be keeping track of who's going to be appointed to that committee to work between teachers and schools in the central office and the school board. Getting back into your traffic real quick, I-12 is flowing with some heavier delays beginning at Millerville, backed up past O'Neill. 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190 are flowing. 64 into Central is clear. Some heavier delays if you do turn on to Greenville Springs. There is school traffic this morning. Of course, Live Oak High looking pretty condensed. Also looking at some traffic and congestion in front of Denham Springs High on 16 and some traffic on Hatchell Lane due to Denham Springs Elementary and Denham Springs Junior High. Also some traffic on both Burgess and 190 because of Walker High. It's currently 58 degrees, 85 degrees is your high, 82 degrees is your high today, excuse me. It's currently 58 degrees, 82 degrees is your high today, 58 your overnight low. Going to be sunny today, maybe some partial cloud cover at times. Please remember to keep an eye on Tropical Storm Delta. It is expected to reach Hurricane Category 2 status and to slam into the Louisiana Gulf Coast. That's the idea at this time. The path takes it just west of New Orleans and up north into the Baton Rouge area or Hammond area. Not entirely sure yet. That path is going to become more and more certain as it moves closer and closer to the coast. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that all week. Expect for the show to open up with it as we move forward. One last time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Want to remind folks we are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We are once a week in print on Thursdays at $7 a month to get that in your mailbox. We're also online, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We have a podcast page, which is free, a coronavirus page, which is free, and we also have a breaking news page, which has arrests. It also has accidents, and it has state and federal news for you to check out. We do hope you have a great day. Please try to enjoy the beautiful weather, but let's keep an eye on the tropics. Stay safe, and we will see you tomorrow morning.